What's up, everybody? This is episode 10 of Jump to the Ball podcast. I am Coach Tassoni. Today's our varsity athlete feature is Cole Buelow. Cole, what's going on, man?
What's going on with you, man?
Just living in quarantine, man. What kind of things have you been doing to keep busy? How you guys been?
Oh, man, my family's been actually pretty good. I think everybody's going a little stir crazy, but we've been having a good time. I've been playing basketball when I can out in my driveway, and then keeping up with school. But now that's over, so I don't got to deal with that anymore. I'm happy about that.
You said I don't have to deal with that anymore. Okay.
I wasn't feeling it, man. Homeschooling it ain't for me.
In general, that's on my question list here, and the get to know Cole part here. Are you a school guy in general? Then you said just the digital part, maybe. I don't know.
I don't. I'm not a fan of school, but like there, I'll deal with it enough to get through it. And I mean, I got enough friends there that I don't necessarily hate it or anything, but it ain't my favorite.
Okay. I got a couple more school questions for you as we go on here, but what kind of things are you doing to keep busy during the quarantine? You mentioned playing basketball in the front. I'm sure the drop step's gotten really good.
Oh yeah, man, it's getting up there. But I've been actually I was starting to pick up a little bit of guitar, and then
Oh,
yeah, video games. A little bit of reading here and there when I can.
okay. You're like edging into all the questions I have already. Let's knock it off. So you said video games. What kind of video games is Cole into?
I'm into a bit of everything, but I lean away from 2K like the rest of the guys. I'm more into games like CS:GO and Rocket League, stuff like that. I'm a computer guy rather than a console guy. So.
Okay. I've heard of Rocket League. I got a bunch of buddies that play. I've never dabbled in it, but that's cool. Um, so what are mom and dad on you most about now that you've been at home every day? I'm sure as a high school kid, you've been getting ragged on a little bit. What's the one thing that you've been getting the most grief for?
Probably waking up on time because I've been trying to sleep in a lot because I don't feel like I have to get up, but my mom wants me to get up. So that's probably the biggest thing.
What time's the morning get up time for you then?
I get up
Like
around 10.
according to mom.
She wants me up by 9:30, but I get up at like 10.
That's respectable. Okay.
I,
What's
I
the
get
best? What's that?
I get up before noon. That's my time. Like
I
that's what I think is good.
I couldn't do that, but I can respect that. Uh, you've been watching The Last Dance like the rest of these guys. You've come up with a good quote. I think yours was Rodman.
Yeah.
Awesome. What's your biggest takeaway from The Last Dance? What do you think that it's given you and your teammates?
Honestly, probably just the amount of effort that Jordan always put in, and all the Bulls guys, they were always 100% effort and buying into everything that Phil Jackson had to say and Jordan, as the leader of the team, had to say. So I think that was probably the biggest thing that I'm taking away from it.
I love that, man. I love it. We're going to get into a little bit about Cole outside of basketball. So can you pronounce the last name? Have I pronounced it right over the years?
Yes, a few times. You got it right a couple times, but it's
Okay.
Buelow.
Buelow. So why don't you ever correct us when we say Buelow?
Man, I've heard it so many different ways. It's honestly kind of funny to hear it and see what other people say. So I kind of leave it to see what other people come up with.
Oh, gee, give yourself the respect your senior year. Make sure you go to the table and correct people when they get it wrong in games. All right.
Yeah.
Maybe a made basket. We'll call a timeout. You can go over and get that corrected. All right. Where's the family from? I know you guys have a lot of ties to Syracuse. I know you like St. John's. What's up with the Upper East Coast? I'm a big fan of the Mets and the Knicks, so I can relate. But do you have any ties up there?
My dad's side of the family is mainly they were born in the Northeast, right around New York, and then I guess now they kind of went to Michigan a little bit too. But my mom's side's actually all from around here. They were in DeKalb, and I think it was DeKalb. That was where my mom was from. But
Okay.
kind of
You
stuck
don't know
around
where
this.
your mom was from?
I don't know the exact area, but it was right around DeKalb.
I'm suggesting to you that while you're stuck at home with them, you get to know your parents a little bit better. All right.
Maybe a little bit. Maybe a little bit.
They'll appreciate it. All right.
Yeah.
So what are your thoughts on Josh Black? Now, I was going to ask why Harlem, but I'm assuming it's because mom family lived there and they just kind of came back. But
Yeah, that was probably the biggest thing, but I don't know. I'm not really sure. I honestly have no clue, but I think my mom, I don't remember what it was. My dad came here for a job, and my mom and him decided to kind of stay in this area more so than go anywhere else.
all right, so I'm going to give you a list of things that you need to ask your parents and make sure that you know because you're going to have a family one day and they're going to want to know about grandma and grandpa and stuff. All right. All right. I kind of hinted at it here. ties to Syracuse, being from the area. What are your thoughts on Josh Black and the success that he's had? Do you know him at all? Do you talk to him?
Nah, no, I ain't got any ties to him personally, but I like his story. He's a pretty cool guy. I think I met him once or twice, and he seems like a really cool guy. And I've been watching some of his games, and he's a pretty good player. So I'm happy to watch him and see how he's doing up in Syracuse.
That's awesome, man. All right, Josh Black questions are going to continue here. Wrestling match, you and Josh Black, who wins?
Josh Black. I'm gonna have to give it to him this time, but I'd say he has a little bit of a chance against me, baby.
A little bit of an edge. Okay, it's probably not his size. It's probably just his tactic, I would guess.
Yeah.
What about a foot race? You or Josh Black? Who's winning?
Me, 100%.
Okay. One-on-one basketball game? You and Josh Black?
That's me. I got a little bit of the experience in basketball. I think I don't know too much about how much he knows about basketball. I think I could take him.
You don't think you'd have any trouble in the post with him?
Nah, I get used to playing with Adrian, dude. So I think I got against. I've played against size before.
Okay, I'm gonna be sending this to Josh via Twitter, by the way.
Oh boy.
So before we get into basketball, one more thing. How is Cole as a student? You kind of alluded to this. You said it's kind of school is what it is, and you just kind of deal with it. I think you show a little bit of your mental toughness there. What's your favorite subject and why?
Honestly, I'd have to say science. It used to be math, but math is just getting to be it's so nitpicky these days that I'm not as big a fan anymore. So I'd say science because you get a lot more hands-on and it's not as much just reading out of a book and trying to do stuff like that.
Okay. Is it the showing your work part of the math that you really or dislike?
Yes, because some of them come pretty easly in it, and then they show the work, and it's just too much of a hassle anymore.
You just hold up your phone calculator.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay. All right. Who's your favorite teacher? You can go back to middle. I didn't have you in middle school, so I'm not trying to set you up. Yeah, any teacher at Harlem. Who's your favorite teacher?
Mr. Oliveri, 100%. He was one of my.
Awesome.
Yeah, he was one of my favorite. He is my favorite teacher probably of all time. But he was a really cool guy, and he helped me to pursue math. And now that he was the one who motivated me to like math a lot more. So it's just been more recent years that I've kind of started to fall off of it. But I'd say Mr. Oliveri 100%. He was a really funny guy and a good teacher.
And you didn't run track at all?
I haven't yet, man. He's been trying to get me to, but I haven't done it yet. I haven't caved.
You realize that you're a junior yesterday, you're a senior starting today. Like you say, I haven't yet. So
no, there's still a chance for next year, but not yet. All
right, that's fair. What's Cole eating most days at lunch? Like if I walk into the cafeteria, what's Cole gonna have on his plate?
Chicken sandwich, probably.
Chicken sandwich? Is it like a hot, spicy chicken sandwich or just regular chicken?
I go between the two, but I'd say regular most of the time.
Gotta go spicy, Cole. Come on, man. All right, basketball stuff. First year at the varsity level last year. What was your best memory from last year? It could be anything.
Honestly, it was probably I didn't like the morning practices, but it was probably the morning practices just because everybody was in the same boat. I don't think as many people liked being there, but it was kind of fun to everybody was in the same boat and everybody was kind of having fun with it while they could.
So it's kind of like that camaraderie. You guys all had to face the same struggle of actually being up and awake and alive at 6 a.m.
Yeah.
Okay. What was your biggest surprise going from the sophomore level up to varsity?
Speed, 100%. The game goes 10 to 20 times quicker. I remember in the sophomore level and in the summer league between the 2 years, I could kind of see how it was going to get to be faster and more intense. But once the first game of the varsity, it was crazy how fast everybody else was going in comparison to me. So you have to kind of catch up to that.
But I mean, you showed really good glimpses. We were just talking before we started the podcast here. We played Detroit Douglas, the academy. They got a kid that's as a junior he was a junior this year. He's already signed to Michigan State. You were in the post with a guy that's 6'9". He was surrounded by 6'6", 6'6", 6'5", 6'4", and then the shorter point guards, obviously. But you did your thing offensively. You did everything that we asked you to do when we talk about buy-in, with getting to the basket. Drawing foul calls. I think you played really well defensively. That was kind of a little coming out party there for you in terms of feeling like you're behind speed wise. I think you played really well.
Yeah, thank you. I had a lot of fun in that game too. I remember that was when Jace was still there and he helped. He was a good leader back then, and I had a lot of fun playing with him. So I think that kind of helped in that game.
That was the biggest thing that I was looking at, just going, man, because you're right. He was on the bench. He was a leader. He was coming in the game. I think he played like 90% of that game with you. You hit a three. I
Yeah,
remember
I did.
seeing that.
I was for threes, man. I didn't. I lost that touch somehow, man. I gotta get back.
Oh, come on. Well, you got plenty of time to work on it. Doesn't mean that you shoot every time you're open out there, but I mean,
Not yet.
um, biggest struggle. I think you kind of touched on the speed of the game, but outside of the speed, what was your biggest struggle?
Um, I it was probably, I would say it might be the speed, but physicality with some of the other post guys in the Nick 10 were like Anthony Brown. He was probably the biggest guy because he was big and he was fast, and that it brought speed and it brought the physicality of the varsity level, and that was playing against guys like that was probably the hardest thing for me.
But again, I mean, you guys as post guys, you did really well with him the second time around. So I think you can start to see that growth as the season kind of went on there. What was your biggest regret from this past year? Could be collective team, could be just Cole thoughts after a game. What was your biggest regret?
Probably not like I tried something, but like I didn't always give 100% effort. I'm gonna be honest, and that was I regret that a lot because watching like even like midway through the season, I would realize that I'd be like, man, like I could have helped in so many different situations, and realizing that I got that to look forward to next year and to really put in a lot of work.
Awesome. Favorite drill that we would do at practice? There's a
Oh,
smirk there. What you thought of your least favorite first? I can see the smirk.
yeah. My favorite was probably I don't even remember what it was called, the 3-point shooting drill, just because I gotta shoot a couple threes. But my least favorite,
You're
it's
talking
not
about
even
the
a.
fence drill, right?
Oh yeah,
Okay.
that yeah. But the least favorite was the it wasn't even a drill, but it started practices when we'd run and do shuffle to the side and then run and then shuffle side. That was my least favorite. I couldn't do that for too long, man.
And sprint the middle, you're talking?
That was it.
Okay. Senior year this year, as of today, starts today. What is a personal goal that Cole has for himself?
Um, Lead the Nick 10 in rebounds.
Oh, is that inspired by Rodman or no?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, my dad
That's
as well.
awesome.
I feel like it fits my role on the team and my position as well. So I feel like that's a good role or a good goal to have to benefit the team next year.
And looking at the team goals that we had there on Huddle, that was something that we did really well every game. You were right behind a guy that did that really well every game in Austin. So I think filling that void is perfect for you. What's a team goal that you have? Maybe one or two goals, possibly?
Number one goal is definitely to win conference because I think that takes a lot of consistency. Everybody has to show up every single day and put in the work and win a lot of games, the majority of the games. To it's a lot more about consistency. Whereas winning the regionals is fun, and that would probably be my number two goal. But that's you can honestly just go on a run and have a really good postseason and do that. Whereas to win conference, you have to be really consistent and win a lot of games throughout the entire season and put in a lot of work.
Right. What do you feel? We lost a lot of seniors last year. We got a lot coming up here. A lot of guys coming back, anyways. What do you feel our team's biggest strength is going into the season?
Honestly, I feel like athleticism is going to be a big plus because looking at a lot of the sophomore guys and even some of the returning juniors who are going to be seniors and honestly some of the freshmen who are coming up, they all look really athletic and very quick, honestly. So I think speed and defense are going to be two big positives for us next year.
Does it do anything for you knowing that you're a senior now, knowing that we're going to be possibly a young team next year? Do you feel motivated to lead, or are you a little? Is it just your personality to kind of default and let somebody else do that? And
I think I'm excited to step up in certain situations, but I honestly think that guys like Dom are gonna do a really good job next year because I think they play a really important role as point guard. Like him and Trenton, I think are gonna be two guys because as a point guard on the court, I think they're gonna have some of the biggest, one of the biggest jobs to lead the team in certain situations. But in other situations, I want to lead like some of the other post guys that are younger and other people who are in similar situations to me.
awesome. What are you most excited about your senior season?
Just getting on the court again, man. Having this quarantine's got it makes me miss playing, man. So just playing again is probably my biggest thing.
Do you think this is going to be a positive overall for the season then, or a negative?
Honestly, probably a positive.
You're just gonna have that hunger.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. I know I'm most excited about another road trip with your mom sending all those cookies and stuff like that on the bus. So, any mental prep you're doing for this season? Kind of prefaced and mentioned a little bit of reading here and there, but anything you're doing mentally?
Honestly, just building confidence. Like I'll go out and shoot in the driveway and just have confidence that I'm gonna make every shot and believe in myself that I'm gonna do really well when I play. So that's probably the biggest thing for me.
Awesome. Make sure you keep that. Going to start getting into rapid fire here, but I got 3 questions you can take a little bit of time on and kind of ponder. What's one thing Coach Winters always says?
Between him and you, buying in is probably the biggest thing between you two, because I think that was probably the biggest thing that you two both said to me, just making sure that I was buying into everything you guys said and helping the team by buying into that stuff.
All right. Is it fair to ask you one thing that I always say then?
Hustle. That was
Okay.
your.
I thought you were going to say take a charge. I was always on you about that.
I was thinking about that, but I'd say hustle.
Okay. Teammate you think is going to have a huge season or like a coming out party on the season? It can be you as well.
Honestly, I think Adrian's gonna have a really good year because last year we had Austin who was playing a really big role for us. So I think me and Adrian both, but I think Adrian he's gonna be I think he's gonna be better recovered from his injury. I think next year's gonna be a really big year for him. And then honestly, DeAndre I think can have a really big year if he works really hard. So I think that he's gonna be up there.
Do you think that he's been working on that mid-range bank shot?
A little bit. I think he has been. So I think
That's awesome. All right, fast break round here. You got 10 questions for me. First thing that comes to your mind.
All right.
Favorite uniform color of ours?
Orange.
Triskaidekaphobia is the fear of what?
No clue whatsoever.
You gotta guess. You gotta guess.
The Spear Triscuits.
That's what my wife said, actually. It's the fear of the number 13. Books or movies?
Movies.
Favorite Netflix show?
I don't even know. Probably. Rust Valley Restorers. That's it.
What is it?
Rust Valley Restorers. It's a car. It's like people fix cars. I don't know what it is, but it's just really interesting to me for some reason.
Your car guy?
A little bit, yeah, here and there.
I'm gonna throw an 11th question then. What's your dream car for your first car, dream car?
Pontiac GTO. I think it's 67. I think it's the year.
Okay. Make the most annoying sound possible.
There you
go. Giving presents or receiving presents?
Probably giving.
Have you ever tasted soap?
Yes.
Why?
My mom. She I don't even know what it was. She put soap in my mouth or something I did.
All right. How many sprays of cologne is too much?
5. 5 is way too much. Wow. Honestly, 3 is like the sweet spot, and then you go 4 or 5.
Skip 4. You just skip 4. Do you currently own any stuffed animals?
Yeah, I got like 100 of those things, man. They're all from my childhood, man. I keep those.
Can you go get your favorite one? You got 10 seconds. Go. You got 10 seconds. Go. 10, 9, 8, 7. Can't believe he's actually going to go get one.
I'm back. This guy right here. I've had him forever, man. He's my favorite. I've had him since I was like 3 years old.
What's the name? I know it's got a name. What's the name?
Leo, I think is it.
That's a good name, man. That's a good name.
I know what I was thinking.
Least favorite player in the NBA and why?
Honestly, I don't even think I have a least favorite. I've never
go college then.
Oh, Grayson Allen from the.
I knew it.
I hated him every second that he played. I hated him.
You know he's in the NBA right now, right?
Yeah, he is. But in Duke days, I hated that so much.
When I wrote that question, I knew that was going to be your answer. All right. Pro athletes have hotel aliases to kind of avoid the star-struck check-in stuff. CC Sabathia goes by George Jetson. Allen Iverson's is Bubba Chuck. Charles Barkley goes as Satchel Paige. What's Cole's famous hotel alias?
I have no idea. A plus. There you go.
A plus.
Yep.
Okay.
I have no idea, man. You're putting me on the spot with that one.
You are checking into the road trip hotel this year as A plus. It's A plus's room. So before we go, any advice now that you've been through your first year at the varsity level? Any advice for the guys coming in this year?
Just keep at it. Put in 100% effort all the time, because if you don't, you're gonna regret it. I said it. I touched on that a little bit earlier, but just keep at it. Even like you guys get on us, you're hard on us, and that's a good thing. But you got to keep your head up through it and keep going.
I think you take that really well too, and I think that everything we say critically wise, I think you take it as constructive stuff, and I think you've run with it. You do really good with that. So thanks for spending some time with us tonight, Cole. Letting me interview you, man. Stay safe during the pandemic. I know Mom's feeding you well with all the cookies and stuff like that. So
Yeah, thank you. You stay safe too, man.
yeah, take care of all your stuffed animals. See you, man.